Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. I have a collaboration video of some things, odds and ends, that we were going to try and get to over some past videos, some unanswered questions, things like that, some new acquisitions. So I want to get this out of the way so we can get started on some new projects, and let's get started. Well, let's go to some of the new acquisitions. You remember the wire brush video we did the other day? Well, I was in Tractor Supply Company and I found these really, really nice. I mean, this is like a polyethylene stainless steel wire brushes, two different types. They run about $8.99 each, and I got them at Tractor Supply, but they're under the Hobart name, so which is a welding. So I guess if you really want any quality wire brushes, you have to go to a welding place. Really nice. Speaking of wire brush, look at this. This is a NOS, new old stock, Sears Craftsman wire brush, made in the USA, which is long past due. And you can see the graphics on the paper, and then when you take the slide off the sleeve, you can see what the brush looks like. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I found a NOS American-made wire brush. And I picked up some other Lyman pliers that I've been doing tests. Now, you know, I like, you know, the traditional Lyman pliers has the gap up here, you know, a big gap like this. I like a smaller or a non-existent gap, which is more of the combination style pliers. And this one here, these are Doyle. These are the new Taiwanese brand that Harbor Freight's carrying. And I was, you know, doing this to test these out and whatnot. But I'm able to look through because I'm at the store, and I could pick one that has the smallest gap. Now you can see the gap in that one there. You know, it's not non-existent, but it's pretty small. Where these are Malco's. Made in the United States. You don't hear too much about these at all. But these here, again, have a, let me hold the light so you can see. This here, and if you squeeze it tight, that gap is pretty much non-existent. So these will work very well with me, especially for some of the smaller things I do with smaller wires and whatnot. And the cutters, you know, they're very sharp. You can see, very sharp. Same with the Doyles. The cutters are all the way up and down. They do a good job. Here is the channel lock 369s. Now this was important. When I was looking, I went to about 12 pair to get one. Look how tight I was able to get that. See that gap there? Almost non-existent. That's what I like. And some of them were as deep as, some of them were like that far apart. So you have to see and look and feel for yourself. But the cutters on these are really, really good because this has that extreme, you can see here, extreme leverage technology. Say that 3 times fast. And because they move the pin up and make a smaller pin. So, new channel lock 369. So I'll give these a try out, let you know what I think. Also picked up a pair of channel lock 410s, or what they call that parrot nose. And you can look by the design of this, the leverage that you'll get on this particular plier. It works much like a channel lock where you slide it up and down the grooves, but you can see the kind of leverage that you'll get. It just tightens up and it brings that whole jaw down. This is an old-time design, but they're redoing it again, and they had it on sale at Amazon. I think it was like $13.99, and I just said, well, I got to get a pair of those. And the last pair of pliers that we picked up, I saw this reviewed on a channel called Scott's Tool Thoughts. He did a really nice review. He has a lot of good reviews on tools and stuff. And these are these fit pliers. They're made in Germany. And this box, look at this. How can you, this is just what tools used to come with. Look at that retro style box. It shows all the procedures you could do with the tool, made in Germany. And apparently they're made the same style and everything as they were. It's like a reproduction of that tool back then. So but you know I like red, right? And let me show you this. Okay, I didn't want it to get lost in the red background of that carpet, but look at these handles, huh? Are they something else? And you know, it has that cutter that goes all the way down. It's a long cutter that you could use for, like it says, a shear, like a tin shear more or less. But look at how the grind and everything winds up. They really do a nice job over in Germany, huh? And obviously the writing, how everything is in there, just beautiful. And the handles are just like so nice. Look at how they're translucent red. Love that. And they have the nippers in the back. So it's an interesting pair of pliers. I just wanted to have them for my collection. And okay, I could do a whole video on this this tool alone. This is called the Plier. Even it's by Vampire Tools, but it's a made in Japan. And what this is, it's a specially designed plier. You can see here, Pliers, and it's a specially designed plier made to grip rounded or screws that are stripped out and whatnot because of the way the jaw is designed. And they're just totally precision made in Japan. You can see how that groove meets up in the middle. You can grab anything with these, and it's got teeth in the back here. But I needed a tool like this because I'm restoring some pliers that have like that domed rivet shape in the back. And how do you grab something like that, right? I mean, it's almost impossible. But by using these pliers, you could get onto that domed shape like that, and look, you know, I could grip it. Whereas you can never do that with like a flat bladed or any other kind of pliers. And that's what these are made for. And just a really superbly made tool. But if you're interested in what this looks like or what it does, just type Pliers in YouTube, and you'll see some really awesome videos, especially from the manufacturer. Made in Japan, top quality stuff. Then I was able to pick up some other paint at Tractor Supply. You know, I wanted to get some. This is that AC orange, which is very similar to that orange, but it's an enamel paint, which is what I'm looking for. You know, it's a little more stickier and more durable. And then, of course, we got Cub Cadet yellow. And I don't know if I ever mentioned my Cub Cadet. Let me give you a look-see. Well, here she is. She's a 1963 Cub Cadet. It's called an original, made by International Harvester. And it's a second year. They made this in '62 to begin with, but it's a great little tractor, and a lot of torque. It's a 7 horsepower Kohler engine, but look at the rear end on this thing. They use the same rear end and transmission on much bigger tractors. So this thing, even though it's a smaller engine, it will literally pull a tree out. I mean, it's all torque. That's what it's about. And been working on this for a while. It's a little dirty now, but clean it up. Use it basically for shows and stuff. I have the original mower deck. Pretty cool. 1963. Well, here she is at a low idle. Runs nice. See a little stack action. Pretty interesting nice little tractor. Love this little thing. Here she is running. And you can see the cooling system. 7 horsepower Kohler engine. Original. And then I have some of the future projects I picked up at the flea market yesterday, and this here is a wooden hand auger drill, and look at how nice this is with the screw here and there, and the auger bits fit right in, tighten it up on both sides, and I paid 12 bucks for that, but that's really a nice one. And then I have a couple odds and ends here. Look at this Billings wrench I picked up. This was $4. You can see, and look at the mess this was. The guy was almost embarrassed to ask $4 for it. Have you ever seen such a terrible wrench before? But we're gonna get this looking pristine and unusual. Look at these, a pair of pretty unusual clippers. These are the shears that, you know, I like, and the blade's in pretty decent shape. It looks like it's very ergonomic. It's nice. I like it. So we'll give this a shot. And this is coming up real soon. This is, I couldn't believe how nice this is. It's a aluminum C-clamp. Wait till you see how this comes out. Then I picked up this screwdriver that looks like it has some kind of, I don't know what's on that blade, but that handle, you know what we can do with that. So we'll see what we can do with that. And a couple crowbars. I didn't forget about the other crowbars, but they're coming. And then this is something. I paid I paid $7 for this, and you're thinking, what the hell? It's a hole puncher. But you know what this is? This is a look at this. It's a train punch. When they used to do trains, like if you were on the train, look at the design of that punch. The hole it makes, you know, very intricate. It's almost like a star or something. It's you know, very unusual. And I can imagine some engineer, some train engineer was carrying this with him for years or whatever, and This is really well made, really nice, and I just wanted it, just liked it. Don't even really need anything but just a quick cleaning, but just something I like. Okay, these are some other pliers I picked up. A nice pair of channel locks for $1, but these are just restoration products. They're rust buckets. Nobody wants them. Usually paid $1 or $2 for each one of these. Here's a nice pair of fullers that they resemble Klein a lot, except for the diamond pattern, but these are nice pair. But look at this is an interesting pair, and I have to check these out because I don't see a name on them. But see how that design is, that wedge design, how the two pieces join together, and there's that rivet that holds it, but it's drilled out in the middle. So I want to see if that was done after somebody else did that, but otherwise it's a really interesting pair of pliers. And I have a pair of these are high, see these nips? These are made by Starrett. Anybody knows the name Starrett? A very good name, and these were made for cutting like music wire and things like that. Very high leverage, and I'll be working on these. But this one here is I thought the most interesting because this is the first thing I bought when I went to the show. If you look at the name here, you'll see it says MAFEWE, right? And I never heard of that before. Made in Germany. See, Germany. Never heard of that. So he got $5 for these. It was he had a lot of high-end tools, and I said, well, $5, look at the flashing, look at the forge marks. I said, but it's German. I said, there's something about this pliers, they feel kind of cheap or whatever, but I said, there's something about it. So I $5. And even my girlfriend said, like, oh, you paid a lot for those. But it turns out I went online. These were included in Porsche toolkits, and these are really, I seen them for $49 to $79 for these pliers. So it just goes to show you, you think, what is that? You can't judge a book by its cover when it comes to tools. These things are desirable, but don't ask me why. Like I said, any one of these is better than this. Okay, so that's about it. And I'm sorry I ran a little bit long today, but you see we got a lot coming up. So thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you all have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.